Hey everyone, welcome to Jack Hops and Bass. Today I'm making another video, actually my second video of the day, because I don't get many opportunities to do this, but today I want to talk to you about this. This is number one. The other day I put quite a popular video on about my Epiphone Classic Pro 4 in Sunburst. This is my Epiphone Thunderbird 4 Vintage Pro. So many of you will know the differences. The Vintage Pro has more of that classic 60s vibe to it. Still through net construction, so all one piece. These are amazing. Basically buying one of these has kind of left me on the fence as to whether or not I should actually invest the money into Gibson or not. Yeah, these are brilliant. So the major styling differences, you've got the classic headstock, which is huge. I mean, that's a proper paddle. You get the open gear tuners on the back of this as well, if I show you that. I will do some close-up stuff on it as well, as I give you a bit of an idea and a proper rundown. But this thing is beautiful. So you've got the classic 2-point bridge with a little string retainer, I think they call it. The only thing which I've changed on this, and I'll explain why, is I've put the same gold top hats off of Amazon that I've got on my non-reverse. That's essentially because I did buy this used, and one of the controls was kind of had a chip in it and was missing the volume word off the top, so I did change it over with one of those. White pickguard. You will see in my other videos I don't like white pickguards. This pickguard will be getting changed. I did change it. I actually had a black pickguard, which is currently on my Classic, for it. When I did try, the Classic had like a creamier pickguard, but it doesn't fit with this, which is odd because I could get the Vintage Pro pickguard shape, which was copied directly from this, onto the Classic, no issue. I couldn't get the Classic one onto the Vintage because I thought, okay, maybe I'm not a fan of the bright white, but the creamier, more worn colour might look quite nice on this, and it just doesn't line up. And with this being the number one bass, I'm not going to make it look like crap. This is a made in Indonesia Epiphone, so 2017. I love this. I love this. It's a big bit of kit. I'll put it back on the straps in a little bit, show you how much it moves around and things like that. I use an Ernie ball strap with my Thunderbirds, which I've found to be the best, especially being a taller player, to get this hanging where a Thunderbird should do, down by your hips. Show you the strap locks. As normal, I have them on everything. You do, because of where the strap nut is, you do have to have the strap lock on back to front on one side, so you know, they're interchangeable between Thunderbirds, but I do pretty much have one strap for this and one strap for the Classic, and then I have 2 or 3 straps if I'm taking out either the Embassy. Very rarely would I take out the non-reverse. But yeah, so how did I get this? That is one of the best stories that I've had. So I travel around. When I see guitars, I go and pick them up and things like that. So I'm sat at work one day, lunchtime, having a look on the old Facebook Marketplace. In fact, no, let's go further back than that. I've gone up to Gear for Music. I am there to buy a Embassy, which you'll see in the video that's on the channel. So I've gone up to York to buy the Embassy. The Embassy and this run the same pickups, which is the Pro Booker 660 or 760s. which give a really vintage vibe to them, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So I've gone up to Gear 4 and I am buying a Cherry Embassy. I know that it's in stock. I've rang them, I've told them to have it out ready for me to try. I am buying that. I've taken the money with me. I have a look on the old app on the phone, and they do happen to have a Vintage Pro, but these are £499 brand new. I think they're even a little bit more now. And they have one in stock, so I asked them if I can try it as well. I very, very nearly leave the Embassy and leave with this, or one of these. However, I knew that if I left with one of these, that I would never go and buy the Embassy, and I really wanted the Embassy. So I've played it, I like it, it's beautiful. I promised myself I'm going to save up for one. Fast forward a month or so, sat at work lunchtime, as I say, and flicking through Facebook, £250, no, sorry, £280, Epiphone Vintage Pro, for sale in Newcastle. Now I'm sat in Derby at the time, so I know that this is going to be like a 3-hour drive up to Newcastle. But yeah, 280 quid. I'm thinking, okay, I like this. So I messaged the guy. The guy takes a little bit long to come back. He's a professional bass player. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the band, but British heavy metal band from the 70s. Currently, he was touring in America. But when he comes back to me, he is chatting away, and we agree on 250. Brilliant. Okay, I'm happy with that. I tell him that I can pick it up that night. I'll be leaving work and driving straight up, so I'm not going to get there until about 9 PM. Is that okay? He says, yeah, that's fine. You know, the base is actually at my girlfriend's. I'm in America. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. He asked, where are you driving from? So I'm coming from Derby. So at that point, we're all set. It's 250 quid. I'll go and get the money out of the bank, get in my car, drive up there. I've rang the missus, told her, guess what, Doug, I'm not coming home. I'm going to go and buy this guitar. End off. I'm just doing it. And then he messages me back. He said, I know this sounds daft, but there's a 7-string Harley Benton in Nottingham that I'm interested in. It's a shame that you didn't own that, because I'd just do a straight swap with you if you fetch it up for me. So I gets the wheeler dealer in me going, and I have a quick look through Facebook. I find the guitar for sale in Nottingham, and I send him a screenshot. I'm like, this one? He's like, yeah, that's the one. I said, how about if I bought that guitar and fetched it up to you, would you still do a straight swap? He says, yeah. So I'm having a look. The Harley Benton's on at 220 quid. I think, okay, fair enough. So I messaged the guy with the Harley Benton. Say, look, what's the chances that you do 180 quid on it? He says, if you picked it up tonight, yeah, no problem. 180 quid in cash. Boom, right, I'm doing it. So I messaged the guy back in America, whose base is in Newcastle. I'm like, look, will you guarantee me if I fetch this up that it's just a straight swap? Because I'm going to go and buy this Harley Benton 7-string. I don't want it. He's like, yeah, definitely do it. That's absolutely incredible. I'll let the girlfriend know. So I leave work, take 180 quid out of the bank, drive from Derby to Nottingham, buy a Harley Benton 7-string that I don't want, I put it in my car, and then drive from Nottingham to Newcastle with a bass in the car that I don't want. I'm 180 quid lighter to a house of the girlfriend of a guy that I'm chatting to in America. When I pull up, no answer at the door. But it is, at this point, it's like 20 past 9 at night. I'm thinking, shit. Anyway, then I message the guy, he messages his girlfriend actually opens the door. She not heard me knocking. Head in the house, go and have a look at this thing, and it's exactly as described. It's beautiful. And I leave with this in the car instead. So it's cost me £180 and a trip to Newcastle, which, when you consider they're £500 new, in fact more than 500 quid now brand new, is again an absolute bargain. This very, very quickly became my #1 bass with Bone Broke Kings. It just has the presence, the power, everything there. So I'll give you a little rundown of how it sounds. So I've put my little Marshall on to clean. So we've got neck pickup, bridge pickup, turn all the way off, bridge pickup, neck pickup, tone off. So it loses a little bit there. That neck pickup is very, very, very powerful. We'll go tone halfway, whack both pickups on. So you get that, a little bit of the poppiness out of it when you do that. My personal setup, as always, and I'll say it in every single video, neck pickup on, bridge pickup off, tone pretty much open. To be honest with this, wound off a little bit, and when I'm gigging live I do set my volume on the amp so that I'm running this at half volume. There is always someone, if we don't have a sound engineer for the night and someone running the sound, so we're playing live just out of the amps, I will set someone up as kind of my spotter, and they'll give me a little bit of guide of what I need to be doing, and just having it on board, I'm not having to go step back and mess with the amp. Sometimes, you know, I do run a Sonic 8 boost pedal with an octaver, and a little bit of overdrive as well. So sometimes when I'm changing between the effects, depending on the song, I can be a little bit too loud. It only takes a little adjustment, but 2 or 3 bars into a song, I'll have my head up and I'll be looking for that spot, or that spotter will be letting me know where do I need to go. It's not the best way to do it, but as an amateur musician, you do what you have to do to get the sound right on the night. So personal setup, neck pickup on, bridge pickup off, tone around about 80%, 85, 90%, somewhere there. And then maybe with a little bit of grit behind it. So yeah, I love playing this. As with all Thunderbirds, you do have to be very, very careful. The neck is very thin here. It's not scarfed, the headstock's moving back, the grain's running, and then you've got this weak spot. This being such a big paddle as well, if this was to fall over or anything like that, you know, I use a Hercules stand with my Thunderbirds. If this was to fall over and take a whack, it will break the neck. Yes, it can be fixed, and arguably they're actually stronger when they've been repaired. However, it's been repaired, then, you know, it loses something. It's hard to explain why, but you just feel as though it's lost something. If I pop this back on the strap, the last thing that I want to kind of show and discuss is the neck dive. So these do like to dive. They do like to move. So strap locks are very important, but it's not that far. Come on. And even if you're actually doing it as you're in that playing position, you know, you've got that movement. a lot of the time between songs, people will see me just resting my hand in there. It just stops it. But if you need to, let it drop, you know. But these sit nicely on the hips. You can really get down into them. As I'd said, the Ernie Ball strap just allows you to get that little bit of drop in there as well. But they look great, they sound great. Epiphone did an amazing job with this bass. It is on a lot of the forums and everything, you do see, as they say, why would you go for anything other than, you know, when you're getting bits of complaints about build quality being a little bit hit and miss with Gibson, you know, why the hell not? So yeah, there she is. Here we go, a little bit of a closer look at the Vintage Pro. So as your bridge and saddle arrangements, so they're just on the 2-point bridge. The Pro Booker humbuckers, which have that sort of really nice 60s vibe to them. I really like the pickup surrounds on these as well. Gold top hat set up on there, which I put in place because this one was missing the volume and had a little crack in it on the standard control. So these are very close to the standard ones, but look just as good. And then you've got that beautiful 34-inch scale setup and that massive headstock, but it is beautiful. Really like how this sets up on there. If I flip the guitar over and just look at that, it's beautiful. So a little bit of buckle rash, but nothing that you wouldn't expect. I mean, this comes out with me gigging and playing, so of course it's going to get some marks on it. I'm not that precious over them. This is what I was meaning by that really thin. It's almost like a C shape up here, widening down to more of a D. You know, you get that flattening off here, whereas it's much rounder up here. You've made in Indonesia. Oh, open gear tuners. Oh, nom nom nom. Gorgeous, with the big clovers on there as well. And the serial number, if you can see that. So you're 17, so 2017 model. Yeah, just such a special thing to me, this bass. I will be changing this pickguard at some point when funds allow. But yeah, gorgeous. That was my 2017 Epiphone Thunderbird 4 Vintage Pro. Not a lot else to say about it. You know, I think it's fairly obvious why it's my #1 bass. It does look great. It sounds great. It's just wonderful, to be fair. What I would say is that the build quality is stunning. They're well worth their retail money. If you can pick one up used, then you're just looking for the normal stuff. Has it had a net repair? How well has it been looked after? What condition, maybe what the backstory of the current owner is. I do like instruments that have a little bit of a story to go with them. They just feel that little bit more special to me. Other than that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate people watching these videos and letting me know what they think. Please comment if you decide to go with one, or you've got one, or you've had one. You know, chat to me. You know, you can find me at Jack Hobson Bass on Facebook. I do post on Instagram as well, although I'm still kind of getting into that. You'll see me posting on the Thunderbird forum on Facebook. That's a great forum if you are a Thunderbird fan. And yeah, like the video, please subscribe. Let's get a few more watchers out there and hopefully I can continue doing this, and as I get different instruments I can show you a little bit more, and going forward I kind of hope to be able to take you out with Bone Broke Kings. So I'll pop links to Bone Broke Kings. We've got a new single coming out on the 8th of May 2020, depending when you're watching this. So I'll pop the link to that in there. That's an awesome tune. It's getting a few radio plays now and getting a little bit of traction ready for the release. So yeah, obviously if you do manage to make it to a Bone Broke Kings gig at some point, please come and say hello. If you've turned up because of one of these videos, it'd be great to know that I'm finding people and a fan base as such for the band, and maybe for what I'm doing. And then, you know, as it goes, all of this might get a little bit more professional, and you know, I can make better videos with better equipment, better sound, all this sort of stuff, hopefully even become a better player. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and again, thank you very, very much for watching.